tasty tour of Bengaluru, where the flavors of Mexico and the elegance of Europe come together to create a mouth-watering fiesta in your mouth. Welcome to Ouro. Come on, let's go. Everyone, today we are here at Ouro, a Mexican and European restaurant, and today we are here talking to the person behind Ouro, Chef Cyrus Daniels. Hello, Chef. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm very well. Thank you. How are you guys doing?
We are good. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Please.
Okay. So our first question is, what was the concept and vision behind this restaurant? Like, how did you come up with the name? What was the journey through this restaurant?
So this was a 18-year-old dream. It's basically Cyrus put together in 18 years of, whatever I've, learned, inspired, over the past 18 years of my culinary journey. And it was something which I wanted to put together. And this is what, so that's how the concept was actually all about that. We got the name Ouro. A lot of people ask why not Cyrus, but, there's a bigger picture to what we are doing over here. For us, it's about everyone over here. Everyone who's part of this team is part of the dream, right? So we thought of, the word Ouro, which means gold. And for us, gold has always been the oldest form of, denomination or exchange, over a period of centuries. Over here, we a guest comes, and Ouro is that denominator between us giving goods and service and, people experiencing that, Ouro also emphasizes on, a timeless, it's a never-ending value. Gold has always, appreciates, right? So, our brand is also what we look at it as a, never-ending, appreciating brand. And again, gold is a common bond between people, and here it's with our people who are from different parts of the country and the world, who've come together for a common purpose. So that's how Ouro, the name came in. And yeah, it's just, all these 18 years, 20 years of, my entire culinary journey in the hospitality, industry, coming together, and putting it all into an, concising it all into a small packet.
What inspired you to combine these two cuisines, Mexican and European?
So we were doing mainly European. 60% of our menus anyways is European, but being in an Indian market, we felt that there needs to be some sort of bridge between the palate of the consumer we are in India, in Bangalore especially. So we were going through a lot of things, and while we were developing the menu, there was a lot of Spanish items, and then through that there were a lot of Mexican influence that we saw into it as well, because that's how Mexico came in. And then we said, it really makes a lot more sense because, you have the elegance of, and the subtleness of the European cuisine. And you also have, the bold vibrance from the Mexican cuisine coming in. So, you're catering to a lot of a wider palate spectrum by doing this. And you're still sticking to the same root and the same nature of thought process of what we were planning to do.
Did you face any challenges when it came to making a menu because it's two different cuisines?
I think, to an extent, it was something which was already pre-thought. We had it, everything was there. We knew what we wanted to do. We were very clear about what we wanted to do. In terms of challenges, yes, we did have a bit, a challenge of time. We had a very short time to get through and, get a lot of stuff done. And I think the biggest challenge was, like every dish that we made was not something we just walked into the kitchen and said, okay, we're going to make this. Every dish was first, sat, thought upon on a piece of paper. What's going to go into it? How it's going to look? What's the blends? How are they going to taste? How are they going to, look and feel? And, it was a lot of research behind every dish before it could even be made in the kitchen, and only after each dish was done, on a piece of paper and a canvas, then it would go back to the kitchen and say, okay, guys, now we're going to make this. And, we have to replicate the same thing. So I think that was there, but I think it was a bit challenging in terms of, in time. But I think I'm very grateful to my team, who just knocked it out of the park. I mean, they've understood everything. I'm so blessed to have a team like them, who understand everything that I want. If I say I want something, they know how I need it. So it makes the job much more easier.
What are some of your signature dishes?
Practically most of the menu is something or the other that is very closely connected to me, has something to do with my life or with my journey. So, we've got a very limited menu of 70 to 75 dishes, including desserts. We've kept it to a very small menu. So actually, almost all the dishes are some way or the other connected to me. But I think, if you ask me, the ones the Creole bowl, definitely. It's something which is very deeply associated to my growing up. The ceviches, definitely. I think it's a signature. We've created the veg ceviche as well, which I think is something really, really beautifully done, which people are going to love. The thermidors, the Wellingtons, again, a little bit of old school in there, but, just bringing back, I think somewhere they were lost down the line, but I think those are what I think our signatures are.
Okay. Any populars among the customers?
The ones which I just spoke about. People over here, they love the pomfret tiradito. They love it. And the fact that we use pomfret into it, instead of a salmon or a tuna, which is normally done, I think people have reaction to that, blew me away. The Creole bowl, everybody loves. The thermidors, they are really loving a lot. Practically there's something for everyone in the menu, and everyone who I've approached, in this short period of time, whoever been dining with us, they've all been, very positive towards all the dishes that they've tried. But yeah, we keep striving, to keep making things better and better. But as of now, everybody's enjoying the dish that I just spoke about,
Yeah, good. Okay. How do you approach to creating a new menu? Take us through your creative process.
So, like I said, a dish, we don't make a dish just because we need to make a dish. Okay. It needs to have a meaning. It needs to be something for someone. It needs to have an art to it. It needs to have a science to it. It needs to look good. It needs to, at the end of it, taste very good. So I think, when we're creating a menu, there's a lot of art, because I love sketching. I'm a musician myself. So, art and music is very, very close to me. And that is shown in my food as well, right? So I think it has to be very picture perfect. It has to be like a symphony of, like an orchestra, There are so many different players, and all of them playing that, they're the rightful note, and it all balances out into sweet music, right? So for me, the dish needs to do that, Every ingredient needs to, come in, blend in harmony, and sing such a sweet song for your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your taste palate, and it should be divine.
So if you look over here, you would see that Chef Cyrus was not lying when he said the food was picture perfect. If you could see, we have the most colorful food you could ever see here. My college self would have never imagined that I'd be here looking at crab. And Chef Cyrus, can you please take us through this wonderful journey of food?
Alright, so a couple of dishes which I was talking about, we'll start from here. We've got, the herb chicken taco, which is, so the corn, actually the taco used over here is a nixtamalized taco, which is how it is traditionally made and used in Mexico, So we are one of the only ones probably, following the process. So we've got the herb chicken taco, with a smoked tomato salsa. We've got a lovely goat cheese terrine with, walnut, bell peppers, sun-dried tomatoes. We've got some zucchini wrapped in it with some beetroot puree and avocado sauce also as well on that. We've got, which I love the most, is the seafood bowl which I was talking about. It's a very Spanish driven dish. It's a very hearty dish. It's very stewy. It's got vegetables. It's got crabs, seafood, sausages. We've got the lobster thermidor, which is the take on. So it's got butter poached lobsters. We've got mushrooms. We've got a Portuguese sauce into it. A lot of cheese, Parmesan cheese, doing great work and blending in. And yeah, coming to the dessert. This was inspired by the birth. This is called the rise of Ouro. This is what we created as a symbol of the birth of of the brand of everything that we're doing. So the rise of Ouro, which is a Biscoff panna cotta filled, chocolate egg with a Biscoff sauce and a baked nest as well in it.
That's so cool. What are the stories behind these dishes? Like, how did you come up with it? Especially the lobster thermidor. It's really catching my eye.
So the lobster thermidor, again, it's a very classical dish, European dish. But we put our own, as I said, there's a Portuguese sauce which is included in that. It's very critical because, it has a bit of an Indian flavor to it because there's a sauce called a mayonnaise sauce which the Portuguese took when they went back from Daman and Diu because they had colonized it. So they took back some ingredients and there's a Portuguese sauce called a mayonnaise sauce. So that sauce has a very Indian flavor to it because it has Indian spices in it. So we've taken that and blended that, even though it's truly pure Portuguese, but it has some sort of a resemblance to our taste palette as well. So that's how this dish came across.
Okay, and what about this glorious dish here?
This one, as I said, I've grown up eating stews. I'm a coastal boy myself.
Okay.
Stews has always been once a week, always been on the dinner table at home. So I love seafood, and this is a take on the Spanish seafood that they make, and that's how this came across.
Okay. So which one here is the one you're most craving to eat right now?
Me? That one.
That one? I would have never
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And the dessert? How did the egg come?
So we were thinking of, how do we symbolize some dish that resembles the birth of something, and it came to us, why not an egg? Because an egg symbolizes, birth, a new life, and purity. So that's how the rise of Ouro came into this, and gold because again it's Ouro, gold. So that's how
it looks
this came.
really realistic also.
I'm sure. Trust me, it tastes also equally well.
Okay. How do you eat the egg?
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Biscoff sauce and we're going to pour it all around this egg. All right.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Now all you're going to do is
You want me to do this?
just go for it. Crack it.
Cool.
Crack it. Don't be gentle. Yeah. Little more. There we go. That's it. Beautiful.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is great for anger management.
Thank you. Great. Now there you go, and let me take that for you. Let's dig in, take the whole thing, take a bite out of it, and see how it is. Just tell me however you want to have it.
You did so good with this. That's really, really good. It's so creamy and it's crunchy, and it's also like.
It's got layers of textures to it, flavors to it.
So we have just tried Chef Cyrus's amazing dessert, and I am not exaggerating when I say I would die for this dessert. Okay, it is a ball of heaven. It is so creamy, and the textures, just very good job on this.
Thank you.
The rest of the dishes are just so colorful, and the smell just. The next time you want to have a good fusion of culinary adventures, come to Ouro, because just look at this. This is all the reasons you need to come here. Thank you to Chef Cyrus for hosting us
Thank you so much.
and preparing these amazing dishes for us. So let's wrap it up for this episode, and we will see you next time for our next delicious adventure.